So here's the big question. How are entrepreneurs like us, who have been hustling and struggling to make it to success, who seem to make it one step forward only to fall two steps back, who are dedicated, determined, and driven? How do we finally break through and win? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Brian Kelly, and this is the Mind, Body, Business Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mind, Body, Business Show. We have another phenomenal episode lined up for you. The one and only Joel Salomon is on here tonight, and you are going to love this guy. Full of energy, just has all of the right pieces going for himself, especially when it comes to this whole realm known as mindset. Very intriguing having a chat with him just before we went live. And I cannot wait to share this gentleman with you, because I know, based on this short conversation, he is going to bring value. He's going to bring information. He's going to give you tips and give you information you want and you need to take and catapult your business to the next level. And we're going to give you a way to connect with him when the show is drawing near an end, so that you can then really tap into his brilliance individually. And that's how he runs. This is going to be a great show. Thank you. I can't wait to bring him on the stage. But first, the Mind, Body, Business Show. It is a show that I had developed with you in mind, the business person, the business owner, the entrepreneur. It's where I interview entrepreneurs that are successful entrepreneurs from all over the world, like Joel Salomon, who's coming to us by way of New York. I am in the Los Angeles area. I love what I get to do because people come from everywhere. The last guest, I believe, or two guests ago, was from France, all over the place. And to a person, they're amazing individuals. And I know Joel is too, just getting to know him briefly a moment ago. Great guy. Can't wait again. So the Mind, Body, Business Show is about what I call the 3 pillars of success. Now, what happened was I studied only successful people for a period of about a decade. And in that time, 3 things kept bubbling up to the top, this common traits of these very successful individuals. You might guess what they might be, because it's part of the very title of this show. So mind stands for mindset. And to a person, each and every one of these successful individuals had a powerful, positive, and most importantly, flexible mindset. And then body. That is literally, they take care of themselves. They take care of themselves now, and they took care of themselves before, because not everybody I studied is still with us. They take care of themselves both physically and nutritionally. And then business. Business is so multifaceted, but these individuals had mastered the skill sets that are necessary to build and scale thriving businesses. Skill sets like sales, marketing, team building, systematizing, leadership. I could keep going. I won't. I'll spare you. I could go on for quite some time. And the good news, though, you're probably thinking, geez, Brian, I got to master all of those skill sets. Mastery takes a long time. That's true. It does. The good news is, really, if you just mastered one skill set to start off with, just one, and the rest can fall into place. And it's an amazing and simple skill set to learn compared to the others. It's the skill set of, does anybody want to know? First of all, anybody? All right, I'll tell you anyway. It is the skill set of leadership. That's right. When you have mastered the skill set of leadership, now you have the talent and the skills necessary to bring in individuals who have mastered the other skill sets that you have yet to master or may never master due to the sheer time it takes to do it all. That is one of the secrets to success, is bringing in other individuals, whether they are part of your company or you collaborate with them, is to get help and get mentorship. On top of that, we'll be talking, I'm sure, some of these topics during the show with Joel himself. And another phenomenal key ingredient to the very successful individuals that I ran into and studied is that they are all, to a person, very voracious readers of books. And with that, I want to very briefly segue into a segment I affectionately call Bookmarks.
Bookmarks. Born to read. Bookmarks. Ready, steady, read. Bookmarks. Brought to you by reachyourpeaklibrary.com.
There you see reachyourpeaklibrary.com on the screen. Now, look, if you're not watching this live, then I implore of you to go to themindbodybusinessshow.com. Write that down, themindbodybusinessshow.com. And you can go to the main page right there. You'll see lots of people that are going to be coming up on the show. And there's a button in between every single one of them. Click any one of those buttons that says where and how to watch. And there you can opt in. And all that will happen is, well, number one, you're going to get a hotel discount card that is worth a couple $100. And that is a very legitimate hotel discount card. I myself have used them. And that's just for opting in. We won't sell you a thing. All you're going to get are notifications when we go live, the instant we go live, sent to your email inbox. And that's it. And then now you can join us. You can engage with us, chat with us. We'll put your name on the screen if you like. If you have questions, it becomes a really fun group project when we get a lot of engagement. So I implore you to do that. Reachyourpeaklibrary.com. It is a resource that I had built by my team with you in mind again. And the reason is because I myself was not a voracious reader until about the age of 47. And the only reason I began to be a voracious reader is because of this incredible new app at the time called Audible that opened up everything for me. I didn't realize that was my preferred mode of ingesting information, was listening through the ears. I didn't like straining my eyeballs reading pages. That's why I never read. I didn't even know all this. Anyway, so I began voraciously reading myself, and I began compiling a list of books that had a profound impact on my business life, my personal life, or even both. And I had them added to this website. And so as you see, we scroll this down. There is no rhyme or reason to how they're listed here. They're not alphabetical. They're not in the order I read them. They just got slapped in there ad hoc, which is actually pretty cool because now you can just scan the page, find the first one that jumps off. They say, that looks interesting. That jumps off the page. Go get it. You don't have to get it from this website. This is not here to make money from you. It is here to give you a valid resource. You click those buttons, it'll take you to Amazon. You can go get them from your favorite bookstore. It doesn't matter. They're just here for a resource for you so that your odds of wasting your time are greatly reduced because these books have been vetted by at least one other successful entrepreneur. So I wanted to give that gift to you. And by the way, as we're going through these kind of resources, I also have one last piece of advice before we bring on the amazing Mr. Joel Salomon. I cannot wait. It's coming on a few seconds, but real quick, instead of succumbing to that quote unquote itch to go and check out these resources while you're either watching this live or you're listening to it, instead, I implore of you instead to write them down, write down the URLs, and then after the show is over, go visit them. That way you can keep your focus on what Joel is saying, not what I'm saying, but what Joel is saying, because he's going to bring you some words of wisdom that could truly and literally change your life forever. And I would hate for you to miss that one word or that one idea because your focus was elsewhere. All right, that is my soapbox moment, and I am now off of that box. Here we go. It is time to bring on the one, the only, Joel Salomon. Here he comes.
It's time for the Guest Expert Spotlight. Savvy, skillful, professional, adept, trained, big league, qualified.
That's right. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. It is the one, the only, Joel Salomon. Woo-hoo. Welcome to the show, my friend. How are you doing tonight?
I'm great, Brian. Thanks so much for having me. It's an extreme pleasure and honor to be here.
Oh, man, it is all from on my end. Are you kidding me? You're an amazing young man. I love what you're doing. I cannot wait to share what you're doing as well with our audience, and we will get to that. So do not go away. And on that note, you do want to stay with us till the very end. Those of you watching live, especially, you must be watching live because what's going to happen near the end of the show, there's a wonderful sponsor for our show. You can see their stamp, the red and white stamp on the upper right-hand side of the screen over Joel's left shoulder. It is the Big Insider Secrets. My great friend Joel, yeah, you're my great friend too. Jason Nast, who runs that company, has sponsored the show. And by doing that, he's given me express permission to give away every single show, you're going to love this, a 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort of your choice from numerous destinations all over the world. Yes, yes. And I'll tell Joel secretly, no one else can listen, but even guest experts are allowed to enter to win. I've had some win. So you can do that too. Just between you and me, though. No one else gets to hear that. So you do want to stick around for that. And then a couple more quick bits of housekeeping, I like to call it. And then we'll get right into it with Mr. Joe Salomon. Sound good? Here we go. All right. If you are struggling with putting a live show together and it's overwhelming and you want a lot of the processes done for you while still enabling you to put on a high quality live show and connect with great people and grow your business all at the same time, then write this down, carpetbombmarketing.com. Then head on over to it after the conclusion of tonight's show. Carpet Bomb Marketing, saturate the marketplace with your message. And you can get a free lifetime membership to the Reach Your Peak Club. With your free membership, that includes instant access to deep discounts on major software, services, and top shelf training courses you need to run your successful business. You can think of it as your entrepreneur discount house, and it'll catapult your business to the next level. So sign up for free in a moment. And once you've done that, you will get a hotel discount card, as you see on the screen, worth, you got it, $200, another one just for joining. Then after you've done that, you can go grab all those great deep discounts. So write this down. And then after the show, head on over to reachyourpeakclub.com. reachyourpeakclub.com. All right, let's bring back the man of the hour, Joel Salomon. There he is. Look at that handsome guy. So what we're going to do, Joel, is have some fun here. First, I want to introduce you properly with respect that you deserve. And then I'm going to dive deep and we're going to pick apart that big, beautiful brain of yours, not literally, figuratively. Does that sound like a good thing to do?
Sounds awesome.
You're on board? Cool. This is great. This is going to be fun, everybody. So stick on. Joel is a finance, mindful money expert and master prosperity coach. I'm already hooked. Who helps others overcome obstacles standing in the way of their financial freedom. And I'll tell you right now, as a segue, he's a master at doing it. He was literally, I'm not kidding you, coaching me before we came on live, and it was great. Joel's mission is to help at least 100,000 people become financially free. I love the goal. He's an award-winning speaker, workshop facilitator, and frequent television and podcast guest who has been quoted in the Wall Street Journal, Newsday, U.S. News and World Report, and interviewed in Forbes and on Bloomberg Radio. I mean, we got celebrity right here. As a former manager of a $700 million portfolio, the creator of his own successful hedge fund, and the author of not one, not two, 3 best-selling books. 4th is on the way. And let's see, here they are. Here's the 3 books: Infinite Love and Money, The 9 Money Rules Millionaires Use, and Mindful Money Management. And here's one of them. We're going to talk about it here a little bit tonight. Joel is an expert in the field of finance and the mindset of money. Did you hear that word? Mindset. Oh, this is going to be good. Just as he teaches in his books and seminars, the true foundation of wealth and financial freedom is a mindset of abundance. He's so true. Self-worth, gratitude, love, and service all together. Oh, with that, officially, formally, we now bring Joel Salomon to the stage of the Mind Body Business Show. Woo-wee, Joel, this is going to be so much fun. I cannot wait. I love to open everything with everything you concentrate on, mindset, because it is, and I'm sure you're going to agree to this, it is what I call the foundation, the cornerstone of our current level of success or lack thereof. It's 100% due to our own beautiful brain, not anything else, not anyone else. We are 100% at cause for where we are. So for you, Joel, I know that being an entrepreneur, a business owner, that every day when you get up, there's just no, it's just rays of sunshine. It's, tiptoeing through the tulips. Everything's great. You jump into your hammock, you swing on that thing, and you drink that drink with that umbrella in it, and you're just raking in the cash. It's so easy, right? No, it never is. It's never that easy. So it's usually challenge after challenge after challenge, setback after setback. Knowing that is facing you, having done this a very long time, what is going on in your big, beautiful brain when you get up in the morning? What is motivating you? What is driving you? What are you saying to yourself to keep you going day in and day out, knowing that all of these challenges are right in front of you?
Well, thanks again, Brian, for having me. Again, huge honor and pleasure to be here. The most important thing that drives me is one of the first statements you said in my bio, which is to help at least 100,000 people become financially free. I have that actually laminated next to my bed, and I see it every morning when I wake up and every night before I go to sleep. And that's what drives me all day, every day. That's my purpose and my passion. And so when there are those obstacles, like you said, there are obstacles. I teach my clients, I teach those emerging entrepreneurs or struggling entrepreneurs to hashtag doubt the doubt. Doubt your doubt. And then there's going to be doubts. You know, it's not like you said, a smooth sail. You don't just go like this every day, smoothly up to the peak, right? There's some ups and downs, ups and downs, and ups and downs. So doubt the doubt. Have faith in your dreams and desires. And I also teach my clients that worry is negative future planning. Worry is negative future planning. You're thinking about what you don't want to happen. So think about what you do want to happen. Like you said before we started this great book, what if it all goes right? Right? So think about that perspective as opposed to, oh my God, what if this goes wrong?
Yeah, and it's a game changer. And I was telling you earlier that I just started loosely giving that some practice. What if it all goes right? Instead of, they probably won't even open that email because, and then insert this big long story. And then, it's human nature. Most of us do that. So there's, every one of us are the same in that regard, except for those that have taught themselves out of that. And that's the people I find that are the most successful are those that have taught themselves out of that. And they've created a mindset that is in alignment with where they are right now, the success. It's so simple. Yet, why doesn't everybody know this and do this? That's the thing that drives me nuts. Oh, we have Lorianne Hood back from South Carolina. How are you doing, Lorianne Hood? Rich Times from Arizona. Oh, and yes, Lorianne Hood is always listening. She's on many of these shows. Hashtag doubt your doubts. She likes that. That is cool. I like it too. Yes. Thank you for that. Yeah. Mindset is so key. And would you agree, Joel, that if one doesn't get their mindset right to start with, that they, in other words, should they focus on their mindset before anything else, before learning all the tools of the trade and the mechanics of getting a job done, of being a specialized skilled person? Would you think that mindset is more important and should be a priority over those skills? Or do you think it's something that, you just do it later, you'll be okay? What's your thought on that?
So thanks for the question, Brian. Let me just give you an example. One of my clients came to me about 2.5 years ago, and he said, Joel, I want to learn everything you know about the stock market. I know you managed $700 million at Citi. I know you had your own hedge fund. I want to know everything you know and become an expert stock market investor. And I said, great. You still have to fill out my financial freedom survey. And so he filled it out, and there were clearly some limiting beliefs around money. So I said to him, before we start, before he signs up on my coaching program, I said, you have to first go through and learn how to shift these beliefs around money. Because no matter what I teach you about the stock market, and you can know everything I know inside and out, but if your mindset is set for, oh my God, what if I lose everything on this investment? As opposed to, I know and have absolute faith that I'm going to make money in this investment, then it's going to be really hard for you to make money. So I can teach all the processes and systems I want, but if you don't have the proper mindset, you're going to be buying when you should be selling and selling when you should be buying. and it becomes an emotional game, and that doesn't work. So, Brian, I absolutely agree with you that mindset is critical to start with. And no matter what a client comes to me with, another client came to me and said, Joel, I want to follow your path. You went from actuary to hedge fund manager. I want to become a money manager. And I said, great. Instead of 15 years, I'll condense my lessons learned so that my long road can lead to your shortcut. My long road can lead to your shortcut. I said, but first, I'm going to teach you mindset, because you're not ready to become a money manager based on your financial freedom survey. There are roadblocks and money blocks holding you back from living the life of your dreams. So we need to work on that for the first 45 days of this 90-day program. Otherwise, you're never going to get to that dream job. And I will tell you that he is now one step away from doing his dream of being a money manager. He's an analyst at a big fund in the States, and he's one step away in just 3 years. So we've condensed 15 years to 3. And by the first guy I talked about, he made $2 million last year in the stock market. He is financially free.
And thanks in large part to your setting him on the right path and his willingness to be coachable, right? And, you talked about, if you don't mind, I would love to share those with everyone out here. What are your 3 criteria for someone to be able to be your client? And I want everybody to listen to this with a wide open ear, because it fits no matter what your business is. So if you wouldn't mind, Joel, I'd love to hear those 3 again.
No, it's my pleasure, Brian. And thanks for bringing it up. So the very first thing is, are you willing to move out of your comfort zone? And some people will pay lip service and say, of course, but I will caution you that your mind will present you with reasons why my programs won't work, and therefore you won't get out of your comfort zone. So you need to first say, okay, I'm willing to have belief that this program is going to work. Second step is you have to be coachable. And what that means is you have to be open-minded, because this has worked for others. You have to believe it's going to work for you. And the third, which is the most important step, is will you put in the time, the money, and the effort / energy needed to make the changes necessary for you to be a success?
Yeah, and those are key, and I'm writing them down again. By the way, I was telling everybody to write their I implore of people to take notes. I'm running the show and I'm asking the questions, and I've already got a half a page, and I'm ready to turn the page and go to page 2. Yeah, it's just the best way to commit it to your brain is to put it down on paper always. And it helps me as the show host. I can refer back to things you said, and it makes it flow so much nicer. That's a tip for all of you that are looking to do a live video show, by the way. So those are key, all 3 of them, because what could happen if a person doesn't match just one of those? I mean, I'm sure you've been through this just from learning. You came up with these 3, I'm guessing, because you learned from the School of Hard Knocks when you found one that didn't have all 3. What happened when they didn't match all 3?
Well, what happens is, sometimes you're coming from a state of lack and scarcity because you haven't gotten a new client in a few days or a few weeks. And so you accept anyone. Well, that's a bad place to start with right away. But so what happens is, if you accept the client who is not willing to put the time in, then they're not going to be successful. If the person's not willing to put the energy and effort in, they're not going to be successful. And if they're not willing to get out of the comfort zone, or they're not coachable, and you want to give them tips, and like I say to every client, if you're not successful, I'm not successful. Right? I'm only as good as you are. And so to me, I don't talk about failure or success, but it's just okay, that was a big lesson learned, right? I should not have accepted that client because they weren't willing to put the time or the effort in or the money in. Were not willing to invest in themselves.
Yeah, and it's so true, especially of people in business that are kind of just starting out. I was there as entrepreneurs, as small business owners. We're in a bit more of a scarcity mindset when it comes to finances because we're trying to keep our heads above water. And as a result, we're more willing to take anyone with a heartbeat and a credit card with enough room on it to pay for our services. And that's usually where the learning processes come in. And you learned what you did about, oh my gosh, they didn't check that one box and I still let them in. I've turned down people for a program that I run for $25,000 just because it's like, I don't want to work with that person. It's a year-long program and I'm not going to be stuck with that person for a year and just have it bring me down. I love that you're saying that out loud to people, because that is one of the biggest mistakes one can make, because, you may make some money, but it's going to cost you far more in your time and in aggravation. And because of that money, because that time and aggravation is taken away from your marketing and selling to clients who do fit the bill. And so it's a really bad, once it's done, I bet you've never made that same mistake again. Have you, Joel?
No.
It's a painful one. Yes. I'm very discerning. Oh, Brigitte, hopefully is on. How are you doing, Brigitte? We were on Zoom a long time last night having fun with tech stuff. She's amazing. She is an NLP expert, and I always send people her way. If anyone wants to get certified in NLP, Brigitte Hufele, I'm going to put her back up here so you can see her name. And it's that.com. And just go connect with her. I love this. See, you come on, you watch, you engage, and you even get shout outs and advertisements. And I didn't charge a dime. She didn't pay me anything more than a couple $100 for that. I'm so kidding. Paid nothing. And Joel, you're an amazing guy. It's so obvious. Just like I said earlier, talking to you before, now talking to you even more, I can see truly why not only you are successful, but the people that you bring under your tutelage have become successful, because you have that filter in the front and said, we're going to work on your mindset numero uno first. Rarely do I hear this. Rarely. I mean, most of us came through life going, the harder I work, the more successful I'll be. And that's all I got to do. And I was one of those. I was the worker bee of the, I was the number one gold medal earner of I worked harder than anybody else. So that makes me really special, doesn't it? Well, it didn't make me very wealthy. It just made me very tired and burnt out. And so when you realize and understand, which took me personally a long time in my life to get all this even in front of me, to even realize this was something. I didn't know what I didn't know. But by the time I got it, I'm like, oh gosh, this is awesome. Life is fun now. It's not just about making money. I mean, Joel, just talking to you before we came on, your outlook on life, it's gorgeous and it's infectious. And I can tell you love life and you love it right now, no matter what the situation is. If people could if we could bottle that, well, guess what? We can. All you have to do is get in touch with Joel and he'll spend 45 days with you, getting you through to that point that he's at. Whew. Man, and you didn't pay me anything for that either. That's pretty good. I got to get some money out of this. This is crazy.
Thank you, Brian. And I would say, I don't know if you looked at my email signature at all, but we've exchanged some emails. But my email signature underneath my name and my website and everything, and sign up for my membership, get 30 minutes of free coaching, is don't work hard and become financially free. And people are surprised when I say don't work hard and become financially free. And there's two reasons why I learned that. One is in 2008, it was my first year at Citi, first year managing money, first year where I got paid for my performance. I was ecstatic because the whole rest of my career, it was completely subjective. No matter how much money I made for the company, they decided how much money they were going to give me. Now, 2008, I get to influence 90% of my earnings. So I said, how was I successful in the first 20 years of my career? Work really freaking hard. So I did that. And you may remember 2008 was not the best year in the stock market. The market was down 40%. Financial companies, the only ones I was invested in, were down 57%. I was working 70 hours a week and not being present with my kids, who were 2 and 4 at the time, and I barely made a bonus. And I realized if I continued working that hard, I may not see them to be teenagers. So I made a conscious decision to work smarter, work less hours. I actually worked about 2/3 the hours that I did in 2008 and 2009. Work smarter, have more fun, be happy, which is rule number 3 in the 9 money rules. Can happiness buy you money? Yes. And a funny thing happened. I made 10 times more than I made in 2007 and 2009. 10 times. By having fun, being happy, and working less.
You know, I've heard this so many times. It's so refreshing to hear it again. It's like, you know, enough people have said it where, you know, it's time to start believing it. And I'm talking to everybody. You know, it just over and over. Even Brigitte, who was I was talking to last night, talked about similar things. She's always positive. She always looks at the positive side. That's why she's so monumentally successful. And she doesn't ever appear to me as stressed or going crazy. She's happy. And same with you. I love that look, to everybody, there is a recipe for success. All you have to do is open that book, look at the instructions. So get the ingredients in line. Ingredient would be mentorship, and then follow the recipe step by step. That's what the mentor gives you. Step by step, be coachable. Like he said earlier, just do what they say, because it's proven. It's not like he's reinventing it every time for each individual. I'm sure there's some customizations here and there due to personality, maybe, but the bottom line is the recipe works. And all you have to do is find one recipe that works. You don't have to go find 20 of them. That's just so many people are like, well, I'm going to get that one. Ooh, shiny object. I'll go try that one. Oh, wait, there's another shiny object. It's like, finish the first one, get to the point of success. And then if you want to go do another recipe, which you probably don't need, then you can do that then, but finish the first. So get aligned with somebody like Joel. I mean, he teaches on financial. We're going to talk more about what you do, Joel, in detail, but it's primarily about how to help business owners and entrepreneurs in their financial endeavors and more than just that. But did you hear what he talked about? The first 45 days, 1/2 of your time with him is spent on what? Mindset. That will only help you, not just in your business ventures, but in your personal life. And you'll be a happy person like Joel. Who wants to be a happy person like Joel? I do. I mean, am I saying anything that's not correct, Joel? I don't want to misrepresent you in any way.
No, you're absolutely right. And I would say just one thing to be clear is a lot of entrepreneurs trade time for money. There's no leverage in their business. And you need to create leverage in business, because otherwise you're trading time for money, and then you're working 70 hours a week. And there's a limit on how much money you can make. Even if it's a couple of 100,000 or 1,000, there's a limit that you can make. So you need to create leverage either by teaching others what you know and overseeing them, which is what every company in the world does. Okay. Or you teach like I do. I teach groups. I teach through a membership subscription plan. So in addition to one-on-one. But if you're just teaching one-on-one, like, okay, maybe you don't want to sleep, but let's say you do want to sleep, and it takes 2 hours per client,
Yes.
right? And you're sleeping, then that's 40 clients and you're done. So I can't reach my 100,000, at least 100,000 people become financially free by 40 clients a year. Okay. That's going to take me 250 years. I'm not sure, but I don't think I'm going to live that long. So I need to create leverage in my business model so that I can reach that number. And I can do other things. I can speak, right? I can speak to 200 people at a time. I could even write books. and maybe some people will learn from the books.
Yeah, and so many things one can do, and a lot of people do have a strategy where it's one-on-one. In the beginning, the cool thing, there's so many things you can do to leverage that in addition to everything Joel just so astutely pointed out. I mean, you now have past clients who have gotten the results they came for. They're happy. Well, if you ask them to go share the word and then share your income with them as a thank you, like an affiliate or referral partner, you have the best marketing army in the world because it's coming from someone else's voice who has experienced it. It's not Joel telling them and they're going, well, that's you. Everyone's always doing this when it's from the person selling it. And so you have an army of affiliates and referrers, and that can grow exponentially. And then scaling your business, I think that's what you're talking about, is, being able to, when you have no leverage, is to build the leverage, which is bring on people to help you. And I got to tell you, Joel, I only did this about a year and a half ago. I've done it for 3 years prior to that, but not seriously. I had apprentices that were super part-time, like 90 days at a time by design. Well, I did learn a lot about leadership. That was phenomenal. And then I pulled up my big boy pants and got some full-time VAs going. And now more than ever, I feel so free and liberated for this last year and a half that I'm like, I am shouting it from the mountaintops, get help and do it quick. I wish I'd done it sooner. I was mentored to do it, and I just kept putting it off. My gosh, what a godsend.
There's a great book, Brian, called, sorry to interrupt. There's a great book, Brian, called Who Not How by Dan Sullivan, which it basically talks about, so you should be making at least $250 an hour and hopefully a lot more. So what tasks are you doing that are not revenue generating tasks and or that are worth a lot less or could be done by somebody else, maybe better than you, or less expensive, because your time is so valuable. Like my time, if I'm spending time working on my website, which is, in behind the scenes doing things, changing things up, arguably that's a low per hour business, right? Cost. And so you can get somebody around the globe to do that for you, not at $250 or $500 an hour, right? And so you have to think. So it made me think about every task I do. Is that task revenue generating? And am I helping somebody become financially free directly by doing that? If not, who should do that?
Yeah. Especially if it's a repetitive task as well. I mean, more especially than anything. Yeah. I mean, and yeah, I found an agency, and I am paying as little as $4.53 an hour for full-time help. Full-time. So way less than $250. So how many people could I hire to be the equivalent of $250? Quite a few. You're the math whiz. 8 plus, something like that. Was that right? Or 80? I think it's 80. So yeah, so it makes all the sense in the world to have a team. And, there's so much behind that. And remember, when I opened the show, I said that one skill set, if you master that one skill set, and that's leadership, that's what will pay off, is bringing this team on. You're going to be an effective leader. And you might say, well, Brian, I don't have any team right now. How do I become a good leader? Become a good leader of yourself. Act as though you're your own employee. And how disciplined are you? Are you, look at yourself. Is your own culture that you've developed for your own company something that will resonate with others? Start thinking about these things. They matter. And so start reading leadership books. Start listening to Joel Salomon and reading his books. He's got 9 rules here. Follow these rules. The 9 money rules millionaires use. You want to be a millionaire? Follow these 9 rules. Get a book. Look, it's not even that thick. You can read it. Everybody can do it.
By the way, it's also on Audible. So if you don't like to read and you like to listen,
yes,
it's a quick listen as well. I think it's about 6.5 hours.
God bless you. Oh, man. So did you read it yourself, or did you have someone else do it? Yes. I love that. So everybody out there that's writing a book, Number one, always put it on. Make sure that it's part of your strategy to get it on Audible, because I'm your customer right here. And number two, if you're going to do that, put in the work and voice it yourself. It makes such a difference to a listener. Oh, Joel, man, I love you, brother. Thank you for doing that. I'm definitely getting
No,
that.
my pleasure. And one of the rules is being grateful. Rule number 5, gratitude. And I told the story about my daughter Morgan, and I'm telling the story how she had to have emergency surgery before she was 9 months old. And I went back to that day as I'm telling the story, and I don't think anyone else would have felt the emotion I felt telling the story about how grateful I am that Morgan is alive and healthy, and how courageous she is. And so I actually write down, I have a gratitude journal, which I'd recommend all viewers have, and to write down 5 things they're grateful for every morning, 5 things they're grateful for every night. I write down Lauren and Morgan, my 2 daughters, which my company, by the way, is named after. It's Salomon, named after Laura for Lauren, Moore for Morgan. And I write down I'm grateful for Lauren and Morgan every day. And what's even more powerful, when you write in your gratitude journal, to write down why you're grateful. Ooh. So I write down, I'm grateful for Lauren and Morgan for teaching me unconditional love.
So when you do that every morning, do you ever change up either the list or the why, or do you find you repeat it a lot?
That one I repeat a lot, but it's okay to, and I say everything with grace and ease. It shouldn't be work. And if it's work, don't do it. It's not helpful. You want to increase your frequency and vibration towards gratitude. So get into the feeling of gratitude. And, tonight it'll be, I'm grateful for Brian Kelly for having me on his show, right? That'll obviously be one of my things tonight. So tomorrow night, it'll be different. And the night after will be different. So at the night times, I write down things I'm grateful for that happened that day. In the morning, it's usually Lauren and Morgan. And, I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for having a sunny day where I could jog outside, a few other things that maybe change up. I'm grateful for my intuition. By the way, is rule number 2 in the 9 money rules, trust your intuition. So, it can be anything, and don't worry about repeating things, right? And at the end of the day, it could be, I'm grateful for this day being over.
I gotcha. And by the way, you have my express permission to be grateful for being on this show more than once. Just saying, just gonna put that out there. I'm having so much fun with you, brother. Oh my goodness. There's so much I want to talk. Okay, before I let this run away, which I kind of already have, it's my doing, is I wanted to go more in depth and have you go more in depth about what it is you do, what your service is, what you provide to people, who your target market is, and then you've told a couple of stories. If you want to tell another success story or two, I would love to hear that as well, if that's cool with you. Absolutely.
So I focus on emerging entrepreneurs who are not yet generating significant income. And obviously I help individuals as well, but emerging entrepreneurs, in the first few years of their business may have some money blocks that are hard to find maybe. And I don't say you need to go looking for them, but if I would say, I have a talent where I can look at people and see what their worth is. And so if you're not making the kind of money that I believe you should be making, there's something holding you back. And so we work on those money blocks. We have specific processes, tools, and techniques that have been proven with my prior clients: affirmations, audio files, visualization, acting as if. A lot of these techniques have been proven with past clients, as I talked about earlier. And for the guy who is now is one step away from doing his dream job, the other guy who manifested $2 million. in my membership, we had somebody join in August, and my Money Miracles members have now manifested $1,033,000 in 14 months. And it was really cool last night when we have a private Facebook group. A woman posted her $10,000 manifestation last night. So this is really mind-boggling what's going on in the membership. But this guy joined in August, and he had just gotten laid off. So he got on a call and he was like, Joel, I really need your help here. I want to start my own business, but I'm having a lot of doubt. And I just got laid off and I don't have much severance. Maybe it's a few months, but what after that? So I said, look, I think it's the perfect time to join. So he joins. Part of the membership, I do a Q&A call twice a month, which we'll be going to weekly in January. And so he jumps on both of those calls. He asks his questions. We have a networking call that we started in September. He jumps on that call. And he lives in Texas. He happened to be in New York in September to help his brother-in-law move. And we meet in person. And I'm not going to say this happens with everybody who meets me, but somehow money energy shifts. And 3 weeks into September, he's been on the membership about a month. And he's also watching the videos, of course. He texts me that he had gotten a call from a lawyer who asked him if he would, if this is him, this is his name. And he said yes. And he said, lawyer said, were you working at this company 25 years ago? He said yes. He said, well, you may not, you had received options, stock options. It was a public company. The options have now vested because the company has been sold and for cash. And I want to know what address to confirm your address so I can wire $300,000 to you.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is a money manifestation, a mind-blowing money manifestation in my membership. So look, it can happen. These crazy, awesome things have happened. And, if you add up all, like that number there is wrong now, because we're now up to about over 3.5 million of money that's been manifested through my membership and through the one-on-one coaching and through my group courses. So to me, it's like really mind blowing to see what's going on with these people. And the biggest thing I think about how people are being supported is it's the community, right? It's a community. We have a private Facebook group, people with their successes. And it's just, I say everything's energy. And when you start seeing other people who came in the same time you did, and they're doing the same things that you can do, and they're succeeding, and there's significant dollars coming in, you're like, they're no different than I am. I can do it too. And so it just breeds more and more abundance and prosperity, more gratitude, more happiness. And it's just joyous to see what's going on.
Yeah, and I was going to say, that's going to be incredibly rewarding for you to know that you had a part in their financial success. Yeah, Lorianne Hood says it the best, and it's one word: dang. Yeah, I agree, Lori. That's Lorianne. Sorry. Yes, that's that's what I love is see results. So, how do people get started with you? What do you recommend? Like, what is there certain levels they can jump in with you?
Yeah, I'd love to. I got a few more people. I'm starting a new founding group for one-on-one coaching, and I'm accepting a few more people for that. So that's higher end coaching, but I want like you talked about, like it's individualized. So if you have specific things, like that's the difference between the membership and the one-on-one coaching, right? Into specific things, and we can adjust the affirmations so that they pertain specifically for you. We go through your belief levels on all the affirmations. Not to say that, the affirmations in the membership won't work, but it just may take a little bit longer because it's not an individualized process. Okay. And that's the difference between the one-on-one coaching. The membership is an awesome place to start. We're launching again the Money Miracles membership in January with a new cohort. And, go on my website, you see it there. There's the landing page, and, listen to the testimonials, the audios, the videos. It really, it so warms my heart when I hear these people talk about, they talk about me. And I it's not about me, but, I'm just a facilitator of the process. And it does warm my heart to see what is going on. It's a 6-month membership, but I also have guest experts, people almost as high quality as a Brian Kelly in the membership, who have videos on mindset, on health, on digital media and marketing, how to tap equity in your business. And so it's not just me, it's all these other people. I have 12 other people now who've recorded videos for you. So it's an amazing thing what's happening in the membership. Like, people want to provide additional content because they see what's going on, and people reaching out to me and say, hey, can I include a little bit of content here for your members as well? I've included the whole Infinite Possibilities course, and we have trailblazers who are trained in Infinite Possibilities. They've taught through video the 90-page Infinite Possibilities course. So it's a pretty valuable membership, and you get rewards in the membership as well, where you could win 3 months of free coaching.
Oh man, I love the reward-based memberships. Those are fun, and it's a great incentive to help people to move through the whatever they're called in yours, the modules or the chapters of the stages, of the training. Yeah, the incentives to do that, and it makes it more fun that way. And it's a good thing because you want them to get the results they came for, and that's why you put the incentives in there. Not so much that you just have a great time, but to help them get through the finish line. I mean, I created a course a couple years ago. It took me a year and a half to create it. 60 videos. It was incredibly long. Nobody finished it because nobody wanted to do that much work. And so I said, I'm not going to sell it anymore because no one's going to finish it. Even if I would have put major incentives, get a new iPad after you finish your first module because it was worth it, and all that. But so it makes a big difference, though, to have it. They call it gamification in some circles, where you make things incentivized. And that's why I have opt-ins where on all of my pages and all my sites, where if you just opt in, you get a reward of a hotel discount card that is a bona fide hotel discount card. You can use it at hotels. And so I love that. And it makes it just that much more enjoyable to go through it, because I got to tell you, Joel, I've been through a lot of courses in my time, and it's like after a while, I'm like, God, no more. So thanks to approaches like yours, it keeps that, that fire going. And I appreciate that you do that. So yeah, memberships and
the other thing we have in the membership I didn't mention is we have accountability partners in the membership as well. So people get points for meeting with an accountability partner, and it just helps them continue the process.
It's genius. It's so simple, but it's genius. That plus the incentive. My gosh. And that's the other beautiful thing is the way you've designed it. And this is a higher up level looking down lesson for people. Look, Joel is leveraging his own students to be accountable for each other. So he doesn't have to be the one everyone has to be accountable to him individually. That's the beauty of the group strategy that he's put together. Now he can scale this puppy, and he has, and it's exciting. That's because this dude's smart. That's Joel. He's a smart guy. Yeah. So everything you're saying is like, I'm just smiling ear to ear thinking, you got this down, man. And this is awesome. And I hope a lot of people watch and listen to this show. It's okay if they listen. I won't badger them to death for not watching us live like they should be. But no, I'm kidding. You can listen to this however you want, watch it however you want. But the bottom line is to take notes and then take action. So you definitely want to write this down. I'm going to give everyone his website verbally that may not be watching. And it sounds like Salomon. I hope I said that right. Salomon. And it's SA, which is the first part of Joel's last name and his daughter's last name. And then it's the first part of each of his daughter's first name. So it's SA and then Laur, Laur. And that's it. There's first part of the name. And then more, MOR, there's no E on there, .com. Salomon. I always get the R part. It's hard to do. Salomon. Hey, did pretty good there. It almost sounds like l'amore, Salomon. And I love how you've integrated your daughters into your company name. It shows what a magnificent dad you are, what a tribute and a legacy you're leaving for them just by doing that alone. But definitely go to that website. I hope you all wrote that down. And then go to it after you've done watching or listening to the show, and then reach out. And I hope you're watching, because you can see what a wonderful, gentle person he is. The other side of it, though, is he's a very astute and regimented coach. And I know that because I didn't ask for it. And he gave me some coaching tips as a coach to me before we came on the air. Now, this guy's a natural. He's going into coaching mode. This is what he does. This is what he loves to do. That became very apparent very quick. And he also knows what he's doing, because you heard what I said about his bio, what I read, it was his information. And so here's the thing. When you find somebody that is successful, that has achieved a level of success you aspire to achieve to, doesn't have to be, $250 million. Maybe you're already there, but it doesn't have to be that high. Just whatever your next level is, just find somebody that's achieved that, and that's done it with integrity, that's done it with all that. That's Joel. I'm pointing at him again. You want to find that one person, you want to find that one Joel in your life, and then you can simply model success, listen to what he has to say, and follow his advice. You got to be coachable. And all the three keys that he said, I have them written down. I'm going to repeat them. They're that good. You're willing to move out of your own comfort zone. And that doesn't mean just once. That means repetitively, over and over and over. A day that you don't move out of your comfort zone is a day you do not move forward. And then number two, you have to be coachable. So you have to be able to take instructions, take advice, and do it. And then put in the time, money, and effort. Yeah, you have to have skin in the game. And that doesn't always just mean money. It is money, plus it's time. And that's the most valuable asset we all have. And then effort. But, when it comes to time, the beautiful thing is, when you're going in, you're investing your time. And so you're discerning and thinking, yeah, but is it going to be worthy of my time? Am I going to be wasting my time? Everything I've heard and seen, I can tell you right now, you won't be wasting your time. And that's up for you to decide. You go and do the research. You have a chat with Joel. Maybe he'll talk to you and have an interaction with you back and forth to say, hey, is this a fit? Because look, you have to be a fit for him too. It's a two-way street. Yeah. So I am jacked up tonight. I don't know what's going on. It's you, Joel. That's the reason. I just started getting jacked up when I first got you on the screen. I was like you said, if I met you in person, I might explode in a good way. In a good way.
I just wanted to mention one more thing, Brian, on the website, because there's so much free stuff on my website, and people may not know about it. Like you have recommendations of books. I have recommendations of books on my website. I have quotes, my favorite quotes on the website. I have travel places, my favorite travel places. I have affirmations. If you go into into programs and you drop down into manifesting, you'll see free affirmations that you can download for free. I have audio files in there as well. Oh, wow. And if you scroll down, if you go into the investing section and I'm all about DIY. You can learn about how to do it yourself. Learn my white paper on stop losses and stock options, and how I actually give an example of a stock and how you can analyze it. All that's for free on the website. In fact, all my investor letters that I sent out to my investors when I was managing my hedge fund, it's on the homepage. If anyone wants to read up on 2013 to 16, you got it for free. So there's a lot of free stuff on there. Just peruse it, under the savings, on the programs as well, there's free stuff. So just take a look, and utilize the resources, because it's all free. you'll get to learn a little bit about me from that as well.
Yeah, and I would even take it a step farther for those of you who are considering joining his membership or becoming a one-on-one coach student. I would recommend you go through and download all of these resources and pour through them. That way you'll be even more ready, and you can get farther with your time with Joel than if you just came in with a blank sheet of paper. And do some homework, do some research, find out the more you find out, the more you're going to seamlessly go through his training and coaching and get through the results that you just came for and you paid for. So put in, like he said, number 3, got to be willing to do the work, put in the effort. And so, hey, I remembered that. That was without looking at my notes. I'm impressed with myself. All right, enough of that. Oh my goodness, look what time it is. All right, we got to wrap this up, unfortunately. And I know it's late there in New York. A couple things, and then we're going to call it a night. But don't go anywhere yet. Anybody watching or listening, I like to close every show, Joel, with what has become a very profound question. It is a powerful question. And I know that just from doing this for now over 3 years. And it's phenomenal. I can't wait to lower it on you. It's a good one. Don't worry about it. Before I do that, we do have gifts. And Joel has a gift for you as well. I forgot to verify that with you before the show. Is that still the case, Joel?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Whatever it is. I don't remember, but I'll do it. Okay, good. Let's do yours first so that we can get that going. Joel is offering, where did I put that? There it is. I'm going to put that up on the screen. 2 months of his membership valued at $118 for a winner. And so how do they enter to win that?
So just you have to go to my homepage. You'll see a pop-up. Put in your email. And with that, by the way, you'll get an awesome video called How to Ease Your Money Worries. You'll get cliff notes of one of my favorite books, Ramtha, audio notes as well. And you'll get entered into the contest to win 2 months free.
So where do they go to see the pop-up?
So there'll be a pop-up when you go to the homepage. You'll see a pop-up, or you can just put in your email on the homepage.
All right. So go get the pop-up. Is there a contact area if that doesn't happen?
Yeah. If you go down, scroll down a little bit more, it'll say, Money Miracles community, and you can put in your email there as well.
Right there. Oh,
yeah, right there. Become a member of the Mindful Money Management.
There you go. So sign up there. And then, I'm sorry, what was the additional thing? Oh, they can't write anything additional in there at this point.
No, but usually if you get the pop-up, which, if you haven't been on the website before, you get the pop-up the first time. Yeah.
Okay. I see. I should have opened it in incognito. So yeah, definitely go there, get the pop-up. If you don't see the pop-up, enter it in here. You'll probably get a reply, will they not, Joel, from
yes, you'll get a reply.
And then they could probably reply back to you to say, hey, I came through the Mind Body Business Show. Give me that 2 months. I'm the winner. They can just proclaim it. So
if you want, there's one other way you can do it. There's you can text to the number 66866.
6686. All right.
66866. I'll put it in the chat just for people. 66866. If you text to that number ILM for Infinite Love and Money, my last book, you'll also get entered in.
Oh, fantastic. So text ILM to, I'll put that so it'll go on all the platforms that we are streaming live to right now. There they go. Boom, 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 boom. YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and everything else in between. Fantastic. All right. And then everyone I did promise who stayed on live until the end, I did not forget that I will give you the way to enter to win a 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort. Compliments yet again of the Big Insider Secrets. And to do that, you'll want to write this down because you don't want to miss the answer Joel's going to give to this final question. But write this down. I'll put it up on the screen. Again, you must be watching this live to qualify to enter. That's the benefit of watching live. You want to go to ryp.im/vacation. So write that down, ryp.im/vacation. and we'll be monitoring entries after the show's over. So don't sweat it. You're not going to miss out. ryp.im/vacation. Write that down. Don't go there now, because we're going to come back and wrap this puppy up with a doozy of a question for Mr. Joel Salomon. All right. So, Joel, here's the thing about the question. And I don't want to freak you out or anything, because there is no such thing as a wrong answer. It does not exist. It's impossible to fail. In fact, the exact opposite is the case, is the only correct answer will be your answer. It's unique to you, and it will be unique to you. It's unique to everyone who answers it. So with that, big buildup. Are you ready?
I was born ready.
I love this guy. I love it. Yes, I knew you were going to say that. I expected it. All right, here we go. Joel Salomon, how do you define success?
Well, that's a great question. I would say success is an individual measure, and everyone has their own feelings and ways they can define it. For me, success is being happy. And actually, rule number 3 in the 9 money rules is, can value money, which is a rhetorical question. So if you were happy 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I believe that you would have everything you want in life: the abundance, the prosperity, the passion, the peace, and the love. So that, for me, being happy 24/7, that's success.
And we're finally going to get one. Here it comes. Yes. Spark bombs, bombs of wisdom, knowledge bombs. That defines Joel Salomon. You are an amazing individual. I appreciate you for coming on, my friend. And I know everyone who's watching and listening feels the same way, for sure. I don't know how they couldn't. I just want to extend again my gratitude to you for coming on here, spending your very valuable time, because none of us get our time back, and I respect that very highly of you to spend your time and share your wisdom with everyone here in an effort to help them live their best life, their happiest life, and to exceed their own expectations. And it's going to be a great ride for everyone that is going to connect to you, with you, and take that next step. All it takes is that next step, everyone. Just go to the website. One more time, I'll put it up there. It is SALAURMOR.com, salamor.com. And go there and download all the free material. And you will find out, just by doing that, whether this is worth it or not. You'll find out immediately that it is worth it. It's worth every penny and more. Whatever he's charging for his services, it'll just be worth it. Yes. And Lorianne Hood, I have to put this up. She said, "Thank you, Joel." So there you have some gratitude from a listener. And Lorianne is watching this show almost every single time and learning a lot from it. And that's the beautiful thing. This is like a business seminar every single week, a 1-hour free seminar. And Lorianne is taking advantage of it. And Lorianne, you're on the right track to do that. And now it's time to put those things into action if you haven't already started. But learn, do, and then do what Joel does, and that is teach. Yes, he is the master at teaching. I love it. Okay, so enough love fest for this moment. Joel, do you have any parting comments or words of wisdom before we call it a night? One last word of advice to everyone listening.
One of my favorite books is Think and Grow Rich, and Napoleon Hill. One of my favorite quotes from that is, "Whatever the mind of man can conceive and bring himself to believe he can achieve."
Yep. If you aim at nothing, you are sure to hit it. The opposite of that. I agree. All right. Thank you. On behalf of the amazing Joel Salomon, I am your host, Brian Kelly of the Mind Body Business Show. We will be back again very, very soon. So go to themindbodybusinessshow.com, opt in so you get notified, so you won't forget, and it will announce that our show's live. It'll give you a link. All you have to do is click the link. We make it super simple. And then you can engage with amazing people like Joel directly and learn even more and get farther forward in your business and in your life. So until then, please do these two things. Go out and crush it and serve more people. And then above all, number 2, everyone, please be blessed. Take care for now. We'll see you again next time. Thank you for tuning in to the Mind Body Business Show podcast at www.themindbodybusinessshow.com. My name is Brian Kelly.